Well, boys, a year ago, this was my toolbox, and it was saturated with crappy tools. I just didn't have what I needed to do all the stuff that I do. Decade-old box today, it's not giving me any trouble whatsoever. American-made toolbox, made by Kennedy for craftsmen. Again, no complaints. This is just too small. I went ahead and oiled the slides on it just to see what it looked like once it was nice and cleaned up and the slides are all oiled. You see what it looks like. It's shiny. There's really not any appreciable rust on it. Looks really good with the drawers out. Everything on the inside looked real good. Nothing's loose. No welds are broken. No problems. Great box. This is what the drawers. That's how easy they move after a decade. Like I say, no complaints, except it was just too small. So when I started running out of room in my Craftsman toolbox, the first thing I did was bought this US General tool cart. Great cart, no problems, no complaints. It's been a real gem. In fact, with the coupon, this is a $189 toolbox. This is probably more toolbox than most people need, just it by itself. So, enjoyed the box. As I got into metalworking, needed a welding cart. Since I had such confidence in this box, I went ahead and went for the Vulcan welding cart. It's been great. With 2 bottles on the back and a Lincoln welder, squares and all the grinders and whatnot inside the box. I've rolled it across pieces of metal and all around the shop and not had any trouble with it whatsoever. I've got a 50-foot 220 extension cord hanging on the front. Again, no trouble with it whatsoever. Would absolutely buy it again. So at that point now, I've got 2 Harbor Freight toolboxes, and both of them I'm very happy with. Obviously, when I started the journey of buying better tools, I did what a lot of people do. I looked at the Snap-ons, I looked at the Macs, I looked at the Matcos, and I looked at all these boxes, and I mean, we're talking $10,000, $12,000 toolboxes. And as pretty as they are, they're way overpriced, way outside of anything close to anything I need, and just not worth it for me as far as cost to benefit, even though they're pretty. For the longest time, Harbor Freight boxes only came in red. Then, beginning of last year, they started making the tool cart here in multiple colors. They started with black and blue, and then they expanded. Now there's like 7 or 8 colors. That appealed to me, so that's when I got this black box. I was hoping they would expand the colors into other boxes as well, and they've done it. So this is the US General 72-inch box. It comes 22 inches deep, 72 inches long. It comes from Harbor Freight with the casters already on it, and it comes with basically a big shielding styrofoam cardboard box deal over it and a skid under it. With a great degree of hassle, we used a forklift and got it onto my 16-foot trailer. When I got home, I used a Sawzall and dissected the skid out from under it and then rolled it off. As easy as that is to say, it was 1,000 times harder to do that. Now, this box has been reviewed just like the tool cart by the Real Tool Reviews guy. He compared this box to the Husky box, and frankly, there's no comparison. After I got over the Snap-ons and the Macs and the like, I got to looking at everything else out on the market, the Homax, the Extreme Tools, and that sort of thing. And the box that I found to be the nicest at a reasonable price point was the Montezuma toolbox from strictlytoolboxes.com. And it is a nice box. It's a 30-inch deep, 72-inch box. It's got plenty of drawers, and it's a nice looking box. But here's the deal. It's $3,100. I called strictlytoolboxes.com and asked them, can you get a replacement drawer if you bend a drawer? Can you order touch-up paint? What can you do to fix it if you break it? They never gave me a crystal clear answer. They never said, yes, absolutely, we can get parts for this box. I called Harbor Freight and asked them the same question about this box. Their parts department immediately responded with, yes, we can get parts. So I went ahead and asked them specifically about drawer slides. They were immediately able to find the drawer slides for the box, and they were $14 for a set of drawer slides. They did say it would take 10 to 12 weeks for them to come in, but they can get them. I really still like the Montezuma box. I think it's a really good box and a really good value. But let's have some perspective. It by itself, a 72-inch by 30-inch box, is $3,100 plus shipping. This tool cart was $200 with tax. That welding cart was $325 with tax. That was $1,100 with tax. And the 56-inch top box was $510 with tax. So for all four of these boxes, we're looking at around $2,200. So for the price of that Montezuma box, you've got these four boxes and $1,300 to spend on tools. After looking at it all, I was settled on this US General. Now, I've sort of talked it up as far as the value and the fact that it can be repaired. The weight of it is substantial also. It's a heavy built box, but it's not perfect. If I were to change some things on this box, what I would change is, first off, I would turn this drawer into two drawers rather than the one. Two like that. Because you really don't have very many tools that are that size to justify three drawers that have that depth. You end up with a lot of dead space above your tools, and it's just wasted space. The next thing I would change is I would make the box, rather than 22 inches deep, I'd make it 24 inches deep. And I would make sure that all of that length communicated into the depth of the drawer. The third thing I would change on the box is the drawer extension on the drawers that interface with the body of the box. So there are four drawers total that do interface with the body of the box. And this is how much dead space you have. So from the tip of my finger to the tip of my thumb, that much room is wasted. There's really nothing you can put in that area except for maybe small sockets. The problem is you put small sockets behind your large sockets, then you can't see your small sockets. So it's a total waste of space. What I have back there are very long extensions. And that's it. Nothing, I couldn't think of anything else logical to put back there. It's basically, like I say, wasted space. So there's this drawer that does that. There's this drawer that does that. This drawer. And then the small one on this side over here. So four drawers. I would make the slides on those drawers different. In review, I make the box 2 inches deeper. I'd turn that one drawer into two drawers. And I'd make the slides on the four drawers that interface the body longer. That's it. I would imagine for that set of changes, Harbor Freight would change the price of the box from $1,000 to about $1,500. Well, not everybody would want those changes, but everybody would want the $1,000 value. So I think Harbor Freight's answer to my needs is pretty reasonable. And that's their answer right there. The 56-inch top box. It adds over 30,000 inches of storage space. It adds several drawers. It adds more of the shorter drawers that I like, and it adds what would basically be another socket drawer if you wanted it to. It's a good value. It's $500. It actually comes with a set of bolts to where you can bolt the bottom box to the top box. The top box is threaded at the base, and the bottom box has through holes that you can put the screws through to attach the one to the other. The only thing you would have to do is drill a hole through the work surface on the US General 72-inch box. I don't roll my toolbox around. I don't see it sliding. This top box is very, very heavy. I decided to just set the one on top of the other and call it a day. Again, this top box is super heavy. It took a lot of work for me to get this out of the bed of my truck. There was about a 8-inch gap between the bottom of my truck and the top of the 72-inch box, and it was a whole ordeal for me to do it. I was able to do it by myself, but again, it took all the man that I am. So I'm going to take you off the tripod and let's do a toolbox tour. So this top is empty. Top drawer is empty. Next drawer, electrical tools. There's really nothing new in here from my first toolbox tour, just mostly butt connectors and that sort of thing. Next drawer, 2 torque wrenches and otherwise empty drawer. Over here on the side, carpentry tools, an electric indicator, a high temperature thermometer, and a Harbor Freight scan tool. Mayhew picks and O-ring pick kit, a heavy pick kit, a fine pick kit, and body or interior panel pry bars from Harbor Freight. Clamps and vice grips. This is the good stuff up here. The snap-on snap ring pliers, an assortment of pliers, and snap-on P-series pliers. I keep an oil rag on those because they will rust on you. That's about it. If you see any set of pliers in here you'd like reviewed, just comment and I'll do it. I am going to review some of these, just kind of already planning to, but if you see anything in particular you want reviewed, make a comment for me, please. And the big drawer, the socket drawer. I've got everything from Proto to SK to Craftsman USA, Williams. You'll notice that my 3/8 drive metric aren't in here. 3/8 drive metric 6-point lives on the tool cart because those are the sockets I use the most. These are the Williams USA 12 points. I did a Williams review, Williams versus Snap-on review, and in the comments someone told me that Williams USA did in fact make 12-point in the metric, and I did not know that until someone commented, and I went ahead and got them. So there you go, Williams. Let's see if it'll focus. Williams USA, it's a 17 and it's 12-point. My favorite thing in this whole drawer is this right here. It's also the thing that makes me the saddest. This is the Craftsman USA 84 tooth thin profile ratchet. This is the finest ratchet Craftsman ever made in my opinion, and arguably one of the finest ratchets ever made by a US manufacturer. It's just beautiful. It's a sealed head ratchet. It's 84 tooth. It's heavy. It looks good. It feels good. That flat profile in the back really helps you to pull on it. It's just beautiful. This is the ratchet that Sears made or had made for them right before they bought Kmart. And that was basically the beginning of the end of everything that was Sears and Roebuck. So that is just it's a beautiful ratchet, and it's just so sad. Anyhow, my favorite tool in the box. Next drawer, 1/4-inch drive stuff. Some cool stuff in here, again, mostly SK and Proto. This is a Right Tool 3/4-inch drive metric impact set. Goes all the way to 41 millimeter. And Right Tools, of course, is made in the USA. Some Harbor Freight swivels and some various extensions and adapters. Empty drawer. Empty drawer. Screwdrivers. We'll get to those in a minute. This is SAE wrenches. We've got mostly Right all the way down from 5/16 all the way up to 1.5 inches. And some Craftsman USA and some Taiwan AC Delco. And these crow's feet are actually Cougar Pro, which is the Right Tools Taiwan product. Next drawer, we've got Right USA metric wrenches. Some Craftsman mixed in there. We go all the way to 32 millimeter. And this is actually that same AC Delco Taiwan stuff. Some more Taiwan wrenches. My other set of metric wrenches, again, lives on the tool cart. These are my favorite crow's feet. This one is Mac, but the Mac and the Proto are the same. They have that anti-slip design. Right here, let me get a big one and I'll show you. This is a 25 millimeter. And you see that groove on the sides? That groove grabs onto the fastener head, and they work real well. They've also got a lot of meat back here. Again, my favorite crow's feet. And I've got the Mac and the Proto kind of mixed together, go all the way from 10 millimeter all the way up to 25. I don't know that I'd ever use a 25 millimeter. I don't know that I ever have, but Some dude on eBay had 3 or 4 of these in a set for a good price, so I got them. Snap-on adjustable wrenches, those are really good. One of my favorite snap-on tools, actually. And then some spanner wrenches. And I said we'd get the screwdrivers. I have so many screwdrivers. They tend to be the thing that I use the most as a DIY homeowner, so that's what I've invested the most in. So there you go. From left to right, the whole box. We've got Bondus USA ball head drivers, set of Weha Torques, some old Craftsman USA stuff, a mini set over here, actually 2 of them. One's crappy Lowe's set and the other one's a nice Weha set. Snap-on cabinet screwdrivers, a nice set of Wera screwdrivers. Come over here and we've got Bondus USA Torx heads. They actually suck. I'll review those later. Last drawer in this bay, indicators. That is a set of gauges for an automobile air conditioner. I guess for home air conditioner too. And that is a 1-inch drive set of SAE impacts from Harbor Freight. And that's really the only thing that's in there. And then this is the drawer that I would change into 2 drawers, and this will show you why. So as you see, there's nothing big in there. I could stand my hammers up on end and make more space, and eventually I may need to do that depending on what I end up getting. But I really feel like I've got most of the hand tools I'll buy. So anyhow, in this drawer it's files and hammers and punches and pry bars. And then over here we've got a set of Harbor Freight plastic scrapers and various easy out tools. And this here is a Craftsman set of turbo sockets. Now, if you're in the market for turbo sockets, don't buy Snap-on or those, store brands, big truck brands. Find the cheapest brand of turbo sockets you can. The reason I say that is because Snap-on or Mac or whoever doesn't make turbo sockets, the company that sells turbo sockets to those companies makes them. They are patented. So you don't have to pay the Snap-on price to get a good socket. They're all the same. This and the Snap-on, the same. Air tool accessories. Air tools. If you want to buy 1 impact wrench, that 3/4 inch Earthquake XT, hard to beat. Really, really hard to beat. And the very last drawer in the box. The only thing interesting in here is this power built ball joint U-joint set. It's kit number 46. It's 23 pieces and it's super, super nice. And that's it, guys. That's what I've got in my 72-inch and 56-inch US General box. Don't forget whenever you use brake cleaner to shake it up so that the ball bearing runs free. Now with brake cleaner, if you don't shake it like that, you'll get a gray residue everywhere, and it doesn't work as well, it doesn't clean as well, it doesn't last as long. And that stuff's pretty sticky at the bottoms. So sometimes it can take like a minute or 2 of shaking before you get that bearing to run free like that. See how that runs just nice and free? That's how you want it to sound. I found storing it upside down doesn't help, but just, shake your cans every once in a while until you hear that bearing run free, and it'll save you having to shake it for 2 or 3 minutes when you need it. It's so efficacy. I almost put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. But okay, and say no. I'd say yeah. Well, your pumpkin hangs low. My pumpkin hangs low too. Bye.